Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is a bit of an unconventional video because this is an unconventional celebration. We have just hit 500,000 subscribers and I am overwhelmed and grateful and a little bit terrified because that's a lot of people. I don't even know if I can count that high. So we're doing something a little bit different today because I wanted to go back in time to look at some of the videos that got us to this point. I wanted to look at the behind the scenes, how they got made, and bring on some wonderful people that were part of that process. So the very first video we are going to look at today is a little ditty called "News Anchor, Husband, and Weather Girl Have a Failed Threesome." So you said he slept in the guest room.
Yeah. I got it cleaned up, put some fresh sheets on.
Oh, good. Yes, because I was going to say, did you change the sheets? Because after we, there's nothing better than fresh sheets. All right, so our very first guest is the amazing Gina Phillips, who is an incredible improviser and actor and comedian and funny person here in the city of Toronto and an excellent friend of mine. And hey, Gina, welcome to this like really strange video format.
This super professional thing that we're doing right now, where my video wouldn't work and then the audio wouldn't work and now I'm on my iPad, but I don't have a thingy to hold up my iPad. So,
just use that arm strength, just that trainer arm strength.
Just the whole time.
It just like shakes.
Right?
Let's talk about this video. So this was a long time ago that we made this.
Oh my gosh. I think this was maybe our third sketch together only.
But I'm thinking it was over a year ago. I don't remember the date, but anyway, I do actually distinctly remember sitting in a cafe with you, and it was right after a commercial audition, and I think we were trying to come up with sketch ideas, and I was so inspired because Gina's background or history is that you worked as a news anchor. Mm-hmm. And I just think that that's such a fun character for you. And so we started to talk about what is the kind of most ludicrous thing that you could have behind the scenes of an on-air relationship.
Yeah, it's so funny, when I was working in news, I always literally in the moment while I was delivering the news, I was making fun of it in my head, like just making fun of the newsroom environment and like cracking jokes about like us taking things so seriously. And like, but there were so many moments when as much as I loved working in news, I also wanted to be making fun of it at the same time.
Okay, because that weirded you out. Miss Gave Me with a Dirty Workout song.
Whoa.
Coming to weather in 3, 2.
We're looking at a sunny day in the teens. The weekend is also great, so make sure you get your patio furniture out. How does that sound?
Oh, that sounds amazing. I can't wait to get my tan on.
Well, and you need it.
Pardon?
Tune in to WK News for the most accurate news and weather updates. So I went away and I wrote that script, and then you came over to my house and we shot it. And why don't you tell them a little bit about like what the experience of shooting the sketch was like?
Yeah, well, I loved the script that you wrote. I thought it was very tight.
Oh,
that's a real word. That's a real word.
Interesting terminology to use.
No, but like sometimes we do like a lot of improv, you and I, when we come up with an idea. But the back and forth was so quick, like the way that you wrote it, that the main thing I remember is that we just kind of went in pretty confident. Like, let's just do this. Let's do it exactly pretty much how it's written. Except for the ending. We didn't have like a really solid ending for it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we didn't have a good button for it. I forgot about that. But yeah, this one, you're right. We didn't improvise much. Although you did like with your injuries, that was all improv. Yeah. Were you sore?
Yeah, surprisingly. My, just the joints in my fingers, I think that they don't really bend backward.
We've got to throw the traffic in 3, 2, 1.
This is WK News with breaking news and weather on the hour, every hour. But first, let's take a look at the eye in the sky.
Great.
And just that they don't really, never mind.
Okay, so that is part one. And that was very fun. It was like, I guess I had an earlier part where I just did kind of a solo weather girl piece. And that kind of like I loved that, but that kind of morphed into what this is. And then when this went live, you and I were so jazzed about it that we knew that these characters had to live on. So that brings us into part 2, which involves the great Pete DeCourcy.
That is why you guys are here, okay? You can't keep talking about your threesome at work.
Well, it didn't go well. Pete DeCourcy is a phenomenal actor and improviser and comedy person here in Toronto as well. He's also a good friend of ours. Gina, you've worked with him very closely doing a lot of improv, and we knew that as we wanted to evolve this story and turn it into what it eventually ended up being, which is a PR session, or sorry, an HR session with the head of HR, we knew that Pete was going to be the right person. So welcome, Pete.
So I've called you guys in here because I'm worried. No, I'm concerned.
That's the same word.
Great. G, my friend, you are blown out, baby.
There we go. There we go.
There it is. Pete, I introed you a little bit. I said you were funny, and you were an improviser, and you were an actor.
Yeah.
Anything else I missed?
No, I feel like that's pretty much sums me up. Oh, I write.
Yeah.
Yeah, I write for the Beaverton. There you go.
Oh yeah, your articles are so funny.
Thank you.
For people who don't know what the Beaverton is, because we have a lot of Americans that watch, can you just say real quick?
Oh, basically imagine, this is such a shitty way of putting it, but picture the Onion if it was Canadian.
That's not a shitty way to put it. That's
feel
exactly what it is.
Perfect.
I know, that's like the worst part. Yeah, it's the Canadian Onion, but without any affiliation to the Onion whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah.
And you write for them. So we just talked a little bit about the part 1 of the failed threesome. And we got to the part where Gina and I posted it. We loved it. We wanted it to move on into the next phase. And that's where you come in. But Gina, you're the one who took the reins on this one.
Yeah, and I really wanted Pete to be the HR guy because I've done so much improv with Pete, and I just, like, the lines that he comes up with are so funny.
Yeah, I want to make it clear. I live with my mom because she has fibromyalgia, and I am raising money for it right now. So if you guys want some chocolate covered almonds, I can drop them off at your desk later, $2.
Also plays that, like, bumbling, kind of, like, unsure of himself.
Very on brand.
Yeah, I have no self-confidence whatsoever. And I'm constantly struggling just to exist in the same room as people. So thank you, Gina, for thinking of me.
So let's talk about that. So we get to the day of shooting.
Yeah.
How much of what we did, and I'll show clips throughout, how much of what we did was improv?
I don't think as much as not as much as we think, because the script was very funny. You guys did a really good job on it. And to be honest, some of the best lines were actually stuff that Sam tossed out as an alternative. He's just this would be funny, you know.
Literally my favorite improv, and I go back and watch it weekly, is my mom has fibromyalgia.
I want to make clear, I live with my mom because she has glaucoma and she's constantly bumping into walls. I want to make clear, I live with my mom because she has fibromyalgia. It's an invisible disease. Not a lot of people are up to date on what it is, but my mom lives with it. We're doing a walk in a week if anyone's it. My mom won't be.
We did it at John Ferguson Productions. They were so generous about giving us that space, because I think an office space is something that is kind of hard to recreate. You know what I mean? We've done so many sketches in your living room or around your kitchen table, but yeah, we needed sort of that office-y vibe. So they were so kind to give us this amazing access to this beautiful building with brick walls and this old school building in Toronto. When I look at the sketch now, I'm like, oh my, why do we turn, there's a painting that we turn backwards?
Okay, it is affecting morale and it has to stop.
Nothing broke.
But I have to say, guys, that was one of the easiest, most carefree shoots. It was so easy to put together.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Poke 'em out.
I knew it the minute I smoked them out.
Yeah, actually, you said something to me early when we were shooting where I was like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm messing it up. And you're like, oh yeah, it's like, you were like, oh, that's how everyone is. It always takes like a couple tries to get into it. No one's like good off the bat. And that put me at ease right away. Because I knew I've actually performed with you, so it was really nice.
Yeah, I can't believe that either. It does. I think because the format of like making YouTube videos is so like hands-on and rustic, there's no pretentiousness to it. Like once we pass that first take and you get the nerves out of the way, like who gives a shit? I always tell people like, if you don't like what you just did, you stop. You be responsible for saying cut. Like it's such a collaborative effort when we do this all together. That yeah, I like when it's comfortable, and I think it's like that's really noticeable in this sketch because I think all of our chemistry worked really well together.
Wow.
What do you think, Jerry?
What do I think of what?
Yeah, Jerry, what do you think I should do?
Oh, I don't think I know enough about the situation.
You think she should get out and play the field?
Wow, that's pretty presumptuous of you.
My dream for this is to now write like a third sequel to this where we meet Dean, maybe at like the Christmas party or something.
Okay.
We get all 4 of us together.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's because we've heard a lot about Dean, the lore of Dean, who's got some pretty fun kinks.
People are asking for a sequel in the comments. I was reading it.
Great. We'll have to figure out, we need to be strategic, obviously, knowing with everything COVID-wise, but there's got to be a way to do this that's high quality, fun, and safe for everyone.
Yeah.
Just like a threesome.
that's what the planning should go into it. The same as you would a wonderful orgy.
Thank you guys. Thanks for doing this. I really appreciate you. And thank you for just like supporting me and being wonderful friends and wonderful, amazing collaborators on this platform because it's the best time of my life.
Julie, congratulations on hitting 500,000. That's so crazy. It's so deserved. So proud of you.
Well deserved. Yeah, I gotta tell you, the thing that always like that really blew me, like I took away from that was just like how one, how much fun it is to work with you, and also just like how much of like a vision and work ethic you have.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah, it's honestly, it's great to see.
The thing I say about you, Julie, is like collaborating with you, like you can't, like don't bring something up with Julie unless you're willing to follow through. Because like, if we make a joke about something, literally the next day, there'll be a script in my inbox. If you just be like, okay, so I wrote it. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And you're like, remember that thing we just casually mentioned in the elevator? Great, so now it's a full script.
So Tuesday, we're going to film Tuesday.
So Tuesday.
And you can do it for free, right? Everybody. That's the other thing is thank you guys for volunteering your time. I'm so lucky to have both of you. You're amazing, both incredibly talented. I'll have links to both of their information, all their social media, their IMDb, all that stuff in the description. So if you guys want to see more from Pete and Gina, go check them out.
Thanks everyone for watching.
So I got a package here for Julie ship to. Oh, sorry. Julie Nolke?
No, yeah,
Nolke?
that's me.
Nolke?
Yeah.
Great. Got it on the first try.
We'll get into that in a second. Okay, so I'm gonna intro you really briefly. Okay. So everyone, the next person I want to introduce you to, you probably know him from a little video called Buying Adult Toys Online. The video has, can you believe it, 1.2 million views. Wow. I am flabbergasted. It's overwhelming. But the guest is Kevin Vidal. He's an incredible improviser and actor, and he was in the Canadian production of Come From Away. And he's probably one of the most intimidating, but not intimidating people that I know. Because I want to get into, you were the most personable person, Kevin.
Really?
But I was scared shitless to ask you to work together.
I think that was like my biggest shock is that you were so nervous to ask me to do something. And I'm like, please give me work.
Okay, so the first item we got is the Slim Fit Neon Purple Rabbit Vibrator. 10 speed.
Oh, sorry, what?
I think what it is to everyone who hasn't seen Kevin Vidal in anything before, which would be a surprise, you're so incredibly talented that I think that's the thing I was scared of, because I think part of me feels like a bit of like imposter syndrome. Like I mean, I went to school as an actor and I consider myself an actor, but having kind of made it on YouTube doesn't feel as valid as having made it in, you know, the film and TV scene. And I I was worried that like, oh, this is a real actor coming in. Now we've got a real actor. I better be good for this.
Yeah, that's so funny because I think I have the like the opposite perspective of you, where I'm like,
Oh, really?
I'm like, I didn't go to school. I didn't do like I don't know what I'm doing,
Oh,
and
so you're the sham.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then here comes Julie Nolke with her like millions of followers asking me to do something, and I'm like, thank you.
Okay, we got bad girl shower wall mount.
Oh, no. Gross. What is that?
That's all. You didn't order that either.
No.
It's 2 for 2. Okay.
It was just like such a fun premise, such a fun idea. Yeah, yeah. And I think that's the thing too, like even like the way it was written, I was like, oh, we can have fun with this, and just kind of like ad lib and just like bounce off of each other, which was so nice, you know.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And like
Oh, yeah.
it was like simple enough that like I knew exactly what I was trying to do to you and what you were trying to do to me. You know what I mean? Like we knew exactly what just like our intentions, like, you know. Like it just,
Oh my
I felt
gosh.
like it was so clear in like in the script that I was like, oh yeah, we like this is such an easy fun play thing that we can just, you know, that we can do.
Some of my favorite bits, which made it into the edit, were all of your improv bits.
Is the all ebony ass party Blu-ray set 4-disc edition, priority shipping.
Fuck off.
That's funny.
That's
Like
actually...
we read through the script like a few times, but like the fact that you're able, you know, you're allowing, you know, moments of play and just,
yeah,
you know, you're encouraging, that was so nice.
I laughed. So you're so funny. I broke all the, but that's like the story of my life, is like I can't stop smiling if, you know, if people are funny. But that brings me to what is for you and your career trajectory. I mean, you just spent so long doing Come From Away and such a wonderful run of that show. Where is your heart lie in terms of like making stuff for filming TV, making stuff for the web, and like doing theater? Are you kind of like trying to balance them all at all times?
I don't know. I mean, I think, yeah, so like Come From Away kind of like took a toll on me physically and mentally.
Sure.
So in terms of theater, I was doing that. I did that show for 2 years, so I think I'm okay if I don't do a stage production of something for a while. But I feel like film and television, in terms of, you know, that schedule and that sort of that pacing, I feel like that sort of suits my mental life and my I think just like my spontaneous lifestyle a little bit more. But I'd love to sort of like I essentially kind of like I don't ever, because I don't know if like people are like, oh yeah, you're a theater actor or a film actor. I'm kind of just like, whatever I can get.
Any job. I'll take any job.
Yeah. Yeah. But also like I'm in Vancouver now, so, and I think there's like a bigger film and TV scene here, so I think I'll try and dabble in that. I essentially try to not sort of let things get old, if that makes sense for me. Because I think I get bored of things very, very easily and very quickly.
I think any artist does. Like, I think, and unfortunately that's the sacrifice of theater, is that it has to be kind of monotonous in order for it to be worth it. And you get this wonderful payoff of the fresh audience, you know, and that kind of energy and reaction. But in order for theater to be sustainable, you have to kind of commit a ton of your time and energy and emotional energy and physical energy. And whereas with film and TV, it's you know,
lazy. No.
It's like, well, it's interesting because you and I both had a couple days on Working Moms.
That's
well,
right.
you had a much bigger part on Working Moms than I did. But in terms of like working on a show, you not only do you feel as an actor really, really disconnected from the creation of the show, because that's not your job. You also feel really disconnected from the show premiering and the show going to audiences. It's like, it's almost like when you leave that day on set, that was kind of the extent of the art that you made, and then you go on to the next project. And I think that that's a little bit sad.
It is, yeah. But I think that's sort of like, I mean, that's sort of like I guess the avenues of our industry is that, yeah, I mean, theater is going to feel a little bit more collaborative, and you're going to feel so much more, I think, a part of like a family in that sense.
Yeah.
And also too, I mean, like the sort of like all of those like obstacles that you have to get through of how many shows you're doing a week, or how many shows you're doing, whatever. Those are part of the challenges of theater. And then the challenges of film, of like just going on set and understanding that you're just one piece of this puzzle that you will never see.
But this have to handle anything. These aren't. You're not gonna let you bring them inside. Don't you touch anything, okay? None of these things are yours. Don't touch that. Don't touch the items, man. Don't touch it.
I ordered them. I happen to love ball games and being tied up, and I love ass parties.
Your YouTube and like Instagram and like people like you, like the content creators, are, I think, the middle ground that we have. I don't think we've like valued enough. If that makes sense. But it is like it really is like that is like, it's like the perfect place to be, because like you've been doing all of your own work, for so many years, and it's also only essentially been you and Sam or somebody else, right? So it's
I think you're absolutely right. I do feel, I feel like the whole landscape of like online video is changing, and the way that the traditional film and TV industry sees it. Yeah, it's a weird time to be benefiting, but it's also, I'm happy and grateful to be able to provide entertainment and a little bit of reprieve from whatever is going on.
Ebony Ass Party will be here in 2 to 3 days. Have a good day.
Kevin, thank you. Thanks for doing this. I really appreciate you and for being a part of this journey. If it's all right with you, can I put your social media stuff in the description so people can check you out and see what you've done? Is there anything else that?
Can I promote like Art's New Deal stuff?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Sure.
It's just like a program that my friend's trying to get started.
Absolutely.
To essentially like hopefully get artists out and working. So like painting murals, like whatever artists do. It's sort of like a program that is actually incentivized for artists to like go out and actually sort of like better the city artistically and culturally, I guess. So there's a website. I think it's makeartswork.org.
Cool. I'll have it in the description. No problem. Yeah, and then people can check it out. I love that. That's really cool. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate you. And I guess from here we go to the next guest.
I'm dating someone.
You are?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like a real person. I'm gonna just had the house alone to myself, and I thought I would treat myself.
Totally cool. It's totally cool because I should have come. I called. I should have called before you came. I don't know if I should have called the phone before I came home.
All right, guys, so moving on, I've got a couple more guests I wanted to share with you. These two are incredibly funny people. They are both writers and comedians and actors here in Toronto. They are known for some of my favorite videos I've ever done, like Social Distance Public Shamers and Zoom Threesome and My Boyfriend's Better Than Yours. Oh my gosh, so much fun. We have Natalie Metcalfe and Christian Smith. Yay, welcome. Hold on, let me fix the view so we get the proper gallery view. Okay, cool. This is super having us. You're more than welcome. This is super informal, ultra chill. We're celebrating.
No.
Don't do that.
That's not what that meant.
It's not.
No.
Not gonna say. Not that sketch.
Okay. Well, thank you guys. Thank you both hugely for helping me reach 500,000 subscribers. This is such an incredible landmark, and I could not have done it without the amazing people that have taken part in this channel. So
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Look at this.
Look at this. Everyone just get in and rub your faces on that dog. Everyone get in there.
I hope you like Rona because your dog's covered in it.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about, so we've made a lot of videos together. Obviously, like Natalie and I have made videos independently, and Christian and I, and then we've all made something together. So I wanted to talk a bit about how we work when we're first coming up with an idea, or what that process is and looks like for you guys, because you both write and create outside of making YouTube stuff.
Well, I mean, when it comes to like the stuff with you and I, like we wrote that one, that my boyfriend is better than yours. You and I had this lovely little coffee chat, and we both had these like a bunch of ideas. There's actually still one idea that we talked about there that I really like, that I still think we should do one time.
Which one is that? Oh, is that the
lottery ticket one?
Oh my gosh, the lottery one. Yes. I want that. That's your idea. That's 100% yours. That you did that on an Insta story, I feel like.
No. Oh, I did. I think I did an Insta story, but then you were like, that's something. Anyway, but
this is literally how it works, by the way.
Yeah.
One person pitches an idea, the other goes, yeah, let's make that, and then someone writes it.
Do you think I have cool and exciting things happening in my life regularly?
No.
Don't answer that so quickly.
It's a great character.
Well, after a while, it's like, because like your videos are pretty distinct, like knowing your voice, if like, and I'll speak to Natalie because she's a really great writer. She probably knows how to like, Julie could kill this line or whatever. And like, since you and I have collabed on our own individual ones, similarly, I'm like, okay, I know Julie is comfortable with this kind of like line, and I know she can kill it this way, like, you know what I mean? So like knowing your voice is like super easy to like write for.
I agree. And I was going to bring up actually, Christian, when you and I made the porn walk-in one, like that was kind of a hilarious way that got started. We were just, this is obviously pre-pandemic. We were around my kitchen table, and it was just, I think we were just talking about being in relationships and kind of like reaching interesting stages of a relationship, of like, and like weird kinks that you might find out about your partner like later on.
Because everybody watches porn, right? And they shouldn't
be ashamed of it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes. I'm not.
No.
At all, because especially because as a woman, I think
traditionally female sexuality has been suppressed, and this is just you taking back your power.
Yes.
We both liked a lot of ideas, and then I pitched you this one, and then you like jumped on it, and then like I feel like that's like the litmus test. If like both creators are like stoked on one idea, it's like, oh, that's the one you're gonna do, that's the one you're gonna write. And it's like it was super easy to write, because like I think we had it originally where you walked in on me.
Right. Oh yeah, that feels so weird now.
Yeah. But also it's just like, that's such like a boring kind of like way to approach that scenario, you know what I mean? Like it's always the guy getting walked in because always a guy's shit. But like we just thought like let's just turn it around just for a moment and just see, because like a girl's not viewed as shit, you know what I mean? It's just a different narrative around that, and like female sexuality is a whole different narrative, which is like really fun to explore.
Yeah, well, and going back to like writing for my voice, like that is like one of my missions on the channel, is to write stuff that through a female lens that resonates with a wider audience. So I'm glad that we did that. I really liked what you said about like riffing on a script, because that's something I noticed that you two do more so than, you know, other people I've worked with. And I think it's like a really, really effective tool of definitely how into this are we, but also like of finding jokes. And I think that that's just telling to the fact that you both are so used to collaborating and working with big groups. Because I mean, I didn't mention this before, but they've both done a ton of work at Second City here in Toronto. So
I feel like you have to, and thanks, Julie. Right back at you. You're so great at riffing. It's the thing. It's like if you don't kind of have like, if you can't take not even criticism, but if you're so stuck on your ideas in this industry, it's harder to make things happen. You know what I mean? You can have a great point of view, and it can be ultimately the point of view you get across. But if along the way, like you're not open to kind of feedback, sometimes it just gets messy and not the thing you want. So
I like Marissa better. I feel like Marissa gets caught.
Yeah, Marissa.
She's the type of chick who gets, she's messy like that.
She's messy. You didn't, I don't know. Anyway, I should have called before I came home. I should have called. I should have called before you came. You didn't come. You can't, call.
Every fucking time. Sorry. Okay, keep going.
For more. Same thing?
Yeah.
It's totally okay. I should have called. I should have called before you came. No one came. I don't know. I should have called before. You can just.
Okay, I'm just gonna go straight to my line.
Still, my favorite part of the that my boyfriend is better than yours is the very, very end of it.
Yes.
Completely improvised.
Yes.
And you can tell in that, like, if you watch it, please watch it. There's a lovely end where we talk about just that your mom and you are so tight together, and it's still to this day when I watch it, it makes me like cackle laughing because I can see myself breaking during it. Like that last split second, I am so close to just laughing so hard.
You either, right?
No, Jarek's real.
Oh. And he banged your mom?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, and it's actually been really hard lately.
Oh my God.
We've been going through a really tough time.
Yeah.
You know, because my mom and I are very tight.
Don't say tight. Don't say tight.
So then, okay, so you guys are both actively working, writing all the time. How have you guys found being in a pandemic changes your content and the stuff that you're making? Like, what is it like to make pandemic content?
I mean, for me, it's like, hurry, get it out, because you don't know what the time frame of things are. So it's like, okay, write something, film it, get it out. Because
because the world's gonna move on from that topic in like a week, so it's like, oh, I have a really good perspective right now, and then like the next week it's not relevant anymore because either everyone just already started doing it, or we moved on to another phase of the pandemic, and it's like, oh, that's not as interesting anymore. So it's like, if you have any good pandemic stuff, it's like, boom, put it out there.
Yeah.
Also, the world is like going on an emotional roller coaster on a regular basis, so you don't know what, if you make something, if it's going to hit the same way, or if people are going to be even willing to take it in.
Yeah.
2 weeks down the road.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, even me, like me personally, I feel pandemic content out. Pandemic out? Pandemic out. A little bit. Like, yeah, a little bit. And I think part of that is because I'm living with it alongside everyone, but then also trying to like analyze it and grab a perspective on it. And I think having to kind of really dive into it all the time and think about it, I'm like ready for something else. I'm ready for different jokes, but I also recognize that it's still relevant. And
totally.
I think you echo everyone, Julie. I think everyone's like interested in content, but then after like a second later, they're like, I'm over the pandemic. So it's like, that's the thing with comedy in it. It's like, oh yeah, I really relate to this content about the pandemic and how I wear a mask, and versus like, I just don't want to hear anymore. I want it to be back to normal. You know? So
I just have one kind of last question or like thing that I wanted to talk about, which was like pros and cons. Like, what were your favorite parts of working with me? Because this is just meant to be an ego boost. And Sam says, how great is Sam? So answer both those independently or together.
One, Sam, the best. The best.
For anybody who doesn't know still, which you totally should, Sam is the wonderful man who's usually behind the camera on all of these videos, and who puts great input in the scripts and great direction. And
yes, he also shoots most of the things. Yes, and he's so good and he's so fast.
Yeah,
like I couldn't believe when I shot the first thing, I was like, we were done in like an hour and a half or whatever, because he was like, oh, and both of you being like, okay, we're done, we did 2, we're good, like, okay, we did this, we're good. I was like, I hope I was okay.
Yeah. You're amazing.
It was so good, and you guys create this like wonderful, comforting atmosphere to shoot things in. Like I feel so safe doing it, which was really really nice with both of you.
With you, Julie, I think you and I have spoken about this. Like, we get along creatively really well because like both of us are just like hungry. So
like literally, but
always
yes, yeah,
need food and always want content. It's like I don't like waiting. You don't like waiting for someone to do something for you or someone to give you a thing. You just kind of do it yourself. So both of us are kind of like really like, okay, I got it done. Here we go. Like, this is a great idea. Great, let's do that. It's very much like believe in your instincts, go for it, create it, write it, edit it, shoot it, boom, boom. Like, and I love how like you work harder than anybody. You work so hard. People don't probably know that. Julie works like a fucking maniac. Like, so none of this came like just out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, so like, and it's all like you put your ass into it every time. So it's so.
I do put my ass into it.
Yeah, I've been meaning to say that you could do way less ass stuff if you wanted. Like, you've already succeeded. Okay, more. All right.
More ass stuff.
No. No, I appreciate you saying that, like we work efficiently, because we pride ourselves on like years of, because with the YouTube grind, I think another thing maybe people don't maybe acknowledge is that this is weekly. It's like Thursday happens and we put out a video and then it's immediately, okay, what's the next video? And so that grind means that you have to work very, very efficiently. But also I don't want to rush people. So I'm happy to hear that you felt comfortable.
Oh man, I love that shit.
100%. I also love genuinely writing in your voice. I think it's great because I love writing awkward.
Who's a bad little Starbucks employee?
Oh no, we don't have to.
Hey, what did I miss you two?
I was just getting into it. Tell him.
Yeah, tell me.
Tell him, Sarah.
Can
you come in again? I can't tell you how funny just having him appear.
It's just fun to write for you. It's great. And then to work with you. Like, it's a pleasure.
Well, thank you. Thank you for saying that, because you have to continue to do it in the future. There's no stopping now. And Christian and I are actually working on an upcoming sketch that hopefully will get shot very soon. But anything else, guys, that you wanted to add?
I just started a YouTube channel and it has 88 subscribers. So so I'm almost at your level subscribers, Julie. So if people want to just like pop in, give that a subscribe. Remember, there's only 88 right now.
Yeah.
So get them while they're hot.
Getting a bit big. But it's funny. It's like the YouTube thing. You've inspired me to start a YouTube. Before I was just doing a lot more film, TV, and like theater stuff. I'm like, I should just fucking shoot more shit because you inspired me like that. I'm just like, I got to do more like Julie. Just put it out.
Oh my God, you're way too talented to not. So yes, absolutely. So I'll put the link to your YouTube channel, which will not have 88 subscribers after this. There's no way. Well, I don't know if I'm subscribed, so I have to check.
89, baby.
That's okay. I don't even know if I'm subscribed.
What the fuck?
Well, I will have that linked as well as your social media, IMDb's. I'll have everything down below so that people can check you out and figure out what you're up to. Thank you guys so much for coming on here and having this little chitsy chat.
Thank you.
Right back at you, pal.
Same.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for assisting us in reaching 500,000 subscribers. We are blown away and so excited to continue to create content that you enjoy, and get ready for some cool new stuff that's happening, but I don't know what it is yet. But seriously, thank you guys so much. And 500,000 is more than I ever dreamed of, and it's higher than I know how to count to. That's a lie. But cheers to the next 500,000 more. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Live your life. Be nice to people and wear a mask. Okay, peace.
Exploratory. Live on your mom's futon. I think I remember you saying you have a waterbed in your mom's basement.
With her because she has fibromyalgia.